Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I will say, like...
All the fossils.
There's a point in particular I'll say for when we get to the ending. Like I said, the only reason I'm going on about this and now it's taken us so long to get back to this. Everyone basically knows the thing now. But I'm still not going to say it if you somehow live under a rock and have somehow avoided that for like 3 months.
Yes.
Which... where is that fucking rock? Where is it and how can I find it?
Start talking more when I'm less dad. I've just been sitting here quietly coughing. I hate when that happens.
Like...
Okay, hold on. So apparently all the fossils are
like
above us.
Ow.
Coming up and out, I guess.
Like, well, I feel like the comparing Sonic Racing Cross World to Mario Kart World, well, I feel like that's going to get extremely annoying and become some of the worst performative chess beating I have ever seen. Something I can at least give that game is that game actually has a bunch of references to shit beyond the Genesis era. Not just beyond the Genesis era, beyond the Adventure era. Because the gimmick of that game is, like... after I think it's after the first lap of the race, when you get to the second lap, a, like, portal will open with two. A portal will open... Oh, we never came over here.
Damn. Ah!
You could have just... You could have just surfed.
Shush you.
Anyway, like, something I like
Okay,
saying...
hold on. Toss on the lava.
Anyway, like,
Where is that fossil? Okay. Oh, yeah. There's that one. Yeah. Damn. And then... Oh. Tricky bit. Almost clears everything, but I'm going home.
yeah. Anyway, like, it's not just the Genesis era and the Adventure era. It actually has references to some of the modern games people don't like. Like, one of the cross-world track changes is actually Chunnan from Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
You would never see a fucking Unleashed reference a decade ago.
Yes. Okay.
So, like I said, well,
Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Going back to that.
Oh, I just gotta sleep off the 3rd-degree burns.
This is how logic works.
You know, we could upgrade our health at some point.
Okay. It's up.
Should we teleport?
Okay, if I climb again. Oh, good lord. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, it's
Right there. I think that metal material is slick. You just go around. Denied, bitch.
oh, I don't mind inherently going around. We're gonna have to make a hole, and then I can go the slightly longer way, and we'll just. Yeah. One house.
I was going to say always
And two.
always do the house first. Because it,
Two challenge, and then three puzzle.
They want you to. That's one way to do it. I was going to say they want you to chunk some. Like turf surf. That's one way to do it.
I carved my own path. Carve my own path. Such is the nature of stuff. Okay. That fossil is.
I'm holding the button.
Oh, one banana.
Yes, but the fossil is right there.
Oh. Never happened. There's a banana on top.
I was gonna say we talked to this guy because this is the smashing shit.
Okay.
Should we teleport?
We're going to one banana. I can get on the damn platform. Ah.
There's a banana.
Mine.
Nothing up in there. Could look at the collections, see. 46 out of 72. How are we doing on the fossils? Almost have all the medium-sized fossils. You guys also check the smashing stats because that just gets you a bunch of gold.
Okay. Need to find all the stuff.
Yes.
We almost have all the fossils. And real, yeah.
Fossil map. I think that was 2 fossil maps. Yeah.
2 or 3. Literally why you get the treasure tie.
And I'll make the treasure tie.
Fossil mouse up, yeah.
Except in a weird ass Mandela effect, like Mandela effect, a weird ass placebo effect moment. I took the treasure tie off for 5 minutes on a different layer, and I swear I got like 3 banana maps in a row. I swear the treasure map, I took it off and I actually got more, like, the treasure tie. Taking it off because the gold is considered treasure as well. I swear I got more fossil and banana maps when I took it off once.
Oh, banana.
Give me all the banana organs.
Yeah, Male human, give us your banana organ.
Ooh, 2 banana maps.
This is why we smeesh.
1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. Oh god. Oh god, why? Why did I do that? I hate that song so fucking much.
When they made that Banana Splits horror movie.
We don't talk about that movie.
Yeah, we do. Because it somehow has more of a body count than the Five Nights movie.
Because people think it started as the script for the Five Nights movie.
They adamantly deny that.
We all know that's bullshit. Yeah, and ants and a bug's life have no relation to each other.
This video game series and that video game
Theories
series.
have nothing in common. Stop spreading rumors. Flat damn you, pick up all that gold.
Caught like a savage.
Yes.
Damn it. We started rambling about...
I need all that sweet serotonin.
I think I did it, a serotonin. I keep making that joke. It's like cerebellum. We're doing pretty good on the maps now. Oh, banana map!
Yeah. I'm focusing on destroying shit. When we actually go back to picking up fossils and shit, I can go back to
You know...
to ranting about how.
Oh!
Oh, I think this is the thing I was thinking of. I was like, earlier I had said I'm pretty sure there was. Yeah, I think this is the banana I was thinking of. When I talked about, I remember there being something close to one of the shops, and I was like, if we keep smashing, we might find it. Pretty sure that was it.
I just wanted maps because I didn't want to buy stuff.
Hey, we found a banana.
To loop back around, because I had started it before I started dying, the DLC thing amuses me, because whether or not a game deserves DLC at this point is literally... There's a man over there. Just the, like, drop of a damn hat, because people still have, like, the butt pains.
People still have the butt pains that Odyssey never got DLC. This is the complete wrong way to do any of this. The game should not be rewarding this. That description was submerged like in chocolate lava. We got this the complete wrong way. You can't punch lava.
You haven't tried hard enough.
No, you literally can't.
Okay,
You need a heart like. Either need to use.
I was doing that for a bit.
Either need to use ice or snow, or I need a hard enough material to smash it. And because your default shell is stone.
Oh, banana man! Oh my god! We'll go back to getting stuff in a minute, but like, I was gonna comment on it earlier and I started, like I said, dying. But it was basically people with like Odyssey and stuff amused me because at the time, since
Everyone wanted Odyssey to have DLC and it never did.
because we talked about this a bit in the Mario Kart, Odyssey, because the Switch was easy to hack, because that one Integra chip was flawed.
Apparently that one, like, famous fake image of a, basically, Isle Delfino, that was actually right before the Switch got hacked, because I think it was just an image and wasn't in video.
I swear there's a video version.
I think, I could be wrong, because, the internet, like, internet moves in dog years, basically, where, like, one internet year is effectively the equivalent to 7 real-time years. I think that was initially just a fake image someone made, and then I believe because people were big mad when people learned how to hack the Switch, someone went and made
Except regardless of timing, I can still use that for the quantifier.
There was a fake-ass rumor that was obviously fake, but because people wanted it to be real, they believed it to be real, and then they got big mad when it was proven fake. Same with, like, Splatoon, because there was also this whole, Splatoon was going to...
Banana map.
Because Splatoon also had a similar thing of, it was going to have this, like, sunshine theme.
Because there's that art piece that someone made, which was Sunshine Render Mario, but he was covered in, like, Splatoon ink. Boy, check out, yep. I'll go home. And this goes back to what I talked about in the Mario Kart a little bit.
And this is why I say I hate internet leaks, because I am going to say it. Leaks give people unrealistic expectations, and then they get mad at Nintendo when the leak isn't real.
Because people, but that would have been so fucking cool! Okay, what are we doing? Oh. That's what we're doing. Banana, banana.
Mud is too soft, you would need something harder. like, it's best for me to just shoot through these with stone, because
Yes.
without it, getting a bunch of these are kind of a pain in the dick hole.
It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, I thought this topic would be funny, if not a bit controversial, because I feel like I haven't actually asked this question yet, which is surprising. What is your general opinion on Pauline being a child? Because I know a lot of people were way too upset about that, in all honesty. A lot of people didn't care. I don't care, but God, so many people were basically super butthurt about that. And Donkey Kong's design change, which I also think is fine, but I don't remember asking people's opinion on Pauline being a child. And that was something I wanted to ask earlier on, but I don't think I ever did. So I thought, fuck it, I'll ask it now. Because we've played through a good bit of the game up to this point of the Let's Play, it seemed like a good time to ask. As far as footage goes, we're way past this point, but in the Let's Play, this is a good bit into the game. So I thought, what the hell? I don't mind it because Nintendo can do what they want. Because I don't take Nintendo timelines super seriously unless they're 100% obvious and established instead of just fan-based nonsense, or Nintendo technically now implying a Zelda timeline does exist, but to justify that nonsense, it's a three-way split. So I'm not going to look at this random Donkey Kong game and think it breaks continuity, because there was almost no continuity for any Nintendo game ever, unless it's a rare occasional sequel that more directly acknowledges a previous game. The first Paper Mario is acknowledged with a few references in Thousand Year Door. So, Thousand Year Door is after the original as far as the continuity goes. And Majora's Mask is more of a direct Ocarina of Time follow-up due to how it's designed, but Nintendo rarely cares about continuity. Even Galaxy 2 is interesting because it kind of follows after Galaxy, but it also kind of doesn't. But if we're going to be creative, because of how Galaxy 1 ends, Galaxy 2 kind of makes more sense than people think it does, but that's a whole different can of worms. Nintendo was never trying to build continuity. They were just trying to make fun games. Their games were supposed to be like old cartoons. They exist in a vacuum where continuity is not the focus. It's like old Disney cartoons, but other cartoons do that too. There's light continuity at best, but this isn't some big world with lore. These are just fine standalone stories, which is okay. Not every game needs to have lore and continuity and a timeline. We could just have silly adventures with a character. It doesn't have to be deep. You can enjoy a game with a basic narrative where the gameplay is king, and Nintendo never intended on their games to be big interconnected stories. Mario was designed to be a Mickey Mouse type. Let's just put the silly plumber man in a silly situation like a Mickey Mouse cartoon. That's the game. That's the entertainment. One day Mario does this. The next day he does this, because old Mickey Mouse cartoons and old Disney in general was designed that way. What's a silly situation we can put our characters in? It wasn't deep, it was just entertainment. This is why I love the Kirby series, because Kirby actually has all of this deep lore, but it's never brought up really. Characters will say things, and you'll get some story and some snippets of stuff, but the lore is generally hidden in silly places. In the older games, you would pause the game and get some lore, but then they started hiding the lore in collectibles. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, if you read the figurines, you actually get lore. And other Kirby games did some similar stuff. Sometimes it's pause screens, sometimes it's collectibles, sometimes it's a little bit of both. And I fucking love that, because Kirby is just vibing on these silly adventures where there's this deep, deep lore of like ancient civilizations, lost civilizations, gods, demons, interdimensional stuff, and Kirby is basically only involved lightly when his friends and or food come under attack. Kirby is not out here trying to understand the deep lore and intricacies of his world. Kirby is just vibing while all of this crazy nonsense is just going on in the background. And I've wanted to copy that style in some video games. I had some silly game ideas where I wanted to do similar nonsense because I just find it funny. Have the deep lore, but literally only explain it in collectibles. The lore is there, but you gotta work for it. Meaning the lore is not the point. Kirby has deep lore, but it's not the point. Kirby is just vibing, and I love that. I hate this new age where everything needs deep lore. Everything needs a narrative. Everything needs an interconnected story. All stories must have a logical timeline. Why can't we just vibe? And yeah, I'm all for a good story. And I'm not saying you can't have a narrative, but I'm just saying you don't need one. You can have a silly, simple narrative as an excuse to jump around in a platforming game. Your narrative doesn't need to be a thought-provoking epic. Just let the platforming character do some platforming. It doesn't have to be that deep. Donkey Kong's motivation in like every Donkey Kong game is bananas, for Christ's sake. There's a villain, and there's bananas, and usually the bananas get stolen. Maybe if it's slightly more personal, Donkey Kong's friends, family, and home come under siege, and it's slightly more personal, but it is basically simple and one-dimensional to have a very thin veneer to basically drive the gameplay, which is go to these levels, do these things. I'm not saying narratives are bad. I like a good story. And you can have a story-driven game, but you can also have a game with almost no story built around the gameplay. The problem is, these days, people think when I talk this way, I'm one of those people that's like completely anti-story. No, I didn't say that. I think a story in a game is fine. A good story can be engaging, but you can also have a bare bones story that basically exists so that you can justify your character doing some platforming levels. I feel these days we're way too internet brained. Everything must have lore. Everything must have story. Everything must have meaning. So that people can create a million theory videos. TV is the same way. We used to have a lot more variety. Story-driven TV shows that were basically non sequiturs, and some cartoons were often technically both, but like a bunch of shows can be written with a narrative in mind. I'm not saying you can't do that. I like a good narrative. Avatar: The Last Airbender was a show known for having a pretty good story and plot and characters while having some light non sequitur stuff, but it was a plot driven show. We start and end at a point. It is not random nonsense. Old Mickey Mouse cartoons are random nonsense. SpongeBob is random nonsense with light continuity. And these days you can't do dumb non sequiturs anymore. Everything needs a plot. Everything needs a timeline. Everything needs the deep lore. Everything also with the deep lore needs to be a fucking mystery. God, I'm getting tired of that. At least with the deep lore, can we get lore that isn't mystery focused? But everyone loves mystery stuff because mystery stuff lets you make dumb fan fiction theory videos on YouTube. X equals Y because Z. Like that shit. I'm tired of that shit. People only want mysteries because people want to do theories because people want to solve the mystery before the media reveals it. So even with lore driven stuff, it can't be a narrative that does anything but a mystery. People don't talk about a good non-mystery story anymore. Mystery and intrigue is fine, but God, it feels like everything these days needs to be a mystery. We don't even get story-driven stuff that's non-mystery anymore. It comes up occasionally, but most stories these days are some mystery or something with some intrigue because that gets thousands of people to talk about the work on YouTube, because theory crafting channels that basically, like Curzon said off a recording, right, glorified fan fiction, will have thousands of guesses on how the plot will progress, and that basically gets eyes on the media, versus having a story where we establish the lore and timeline of a world where there's no real mystery, there's no real intrigue. It is just characters doing something in a world that is being established in a way to do a different type of story. Not all stories need to have some secret mystery element. We can still have an intriguing story when you generally understand what the fuck is going on. you could throw a couple of twists and turns in there, but you could establish your fucking story and narrative of following a plot thread where there is less of a mysterious through line. A good story can be straightforward in a progression sense and still be intriguing and interesting. A lot of Zelda games are loved for the story, and there's not often a lot of big mystery. You might get some small things, but like Ocarina of Time was loved for story, and it's sort of straightforward, but I have now rambled like 15 fucking minutes, so I really need to stop. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.